Kern County Sheriff's Office.
Gary Crowell, Stallion Springs Community Service District.
My name is Brandon Gunn. I'm one of the incident commanders for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1.
Good morning, Octavio Escobedo, Chairman for the Tejon Indian Tribe.
Good morning, Brad Niven, Safety Officer with IMT1.
Scout Plan Sergeant Fresno County Sheriff's Department, just here today to observe.
Mike Nisser, Kern County Human Services, Mass Care.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a great meeting. Be able to communicate and move forward. So from here on, we'll be talking to our ops, for an ops update.
Good morning. Once again, Joey Felix, Operations Section Chief for IMT1. The first fire we're going to discuss this morning is the Rancho fire. Crews are currently conducting fire line suppression repair. It's going really good out there, trying to return the area back to its normal state pre-fire. Next, we'll be discussing the White fire. So crews are still at this point on the west end of the fire, going direct line in this area right here in Division Foxtrot, trying to complete the direct line around the fire. Working over in Branch 11, Division Mike. Once again, crews are going direct on that portion of the fire, all the way into the Twin Lakes area. Below Twin Lakes, you see a lot of black line. That means the fire, we have stopped the forward progress of the fire, and it's in mop-up and patrol stages right now. Crews are being very aggressive with the infrared hotspots that were given to us from last night's flight. Everything's looking really good at this point. Thank you.
Weather.
Good morning, everybody. Tim Chavez. I'm doing the fire behavior analysis for the fire, and I'll be just giving you a quick briefing on the weather. The weather is ramping up. Relatively speaking, it's not going to be as extreme as it was on the day this fire took off. That was kind of a peak of the event so far this summer, as far as fuel dryness, low relative humidity, temperatures. And of course, it came right on, a precursor to a lightning bust. So that's kind of how things go in the summer in California. We get these heat waves, then we get lightning, then the weather kind of ramps down a little bit, then the cycle repeats itself. So that's where we're at right now. Fire activity is expected to be minimal. There's a very, very small chance of a thunderstorm over the fire, so we're keeping an eye out for that because that could create winds that are detrimental to us. And other than that, everything else is looking positive through the weekend. The weekend's going to be hot and dry, but hopefully crews will, through suppression efforts, will have everything cleaned up by that time.
PIO.
Thank you. My name is Andy Van Skyveren, Public Information Officer for CAL FIRE Team 1. I'm going to give you a quick little update on the acreage and containment numbers for your reference. The Rancho fire is still at 9,950 acres. The containment is at 92%. That's an increase of 5%. Personnel assigned to that fire is at 27. With regards to the White fire, the acreage is still at 5,536. The containment is 46%. That's an increase in 8% since the last reporting. And personnel on the fire is 829, a reduction of 5. We also have a virtual JIC set up, so if anybody from the current team wants to help us and understand the messaging we put out, I have a different QR code that the liaisons have, so please come see me. I'll be over here. We'd love to have you on our JIC so we can be consistent with our messaging. Thank you.
Repop and evacuation.
Good morning, Kathy Curtis, Law Enforcement Liaison for Incident Management Team Number 1. Within the last 24 hours, we have had one evacuation zone change to report, and that change is with the Rancho fire. Yesterday afternoon, Kern County reduced the status of zone number 495 from an evacuation order status to that of an evacuation warning. This warning remains in effect for today. And then In regards to the White Fire, there are no other changes right now. So the 2 zones that are pictured up on the map behind me are still in an evacuation order status. And we are still facilitating ongoing daily meetings with the involved jurisdictions in Kern County, and we're continuing to have those conversations about further zone changes. But right now, this is where we're at. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the opportunity we'll reach out and ask for any open comments. Please feel free to ask any questions or have any comments. I'll be looking to our federal partners. Seeing none. Tribal partners.
Yeah, I was just discussing with Brandon right now. It sounds like our office is already in contact with CAL FIRE for some shapefile information to identify some potential cultural resource sensitive areas that we have in the Tejon Canyon area. So hopefully that we'll make some progress over that over the next several days.
Thank you very much, sir. Looking at our local agencies, any comments from our local agencies? Utilities? Any of our elected officials? Seeing none, is there any other cooperators that would like to make a comment or have any questions? And we'll go to our line officer from Kern County Fire.
Thank you. Similar to yesterday, just encourage everybody, if there's no questions for the group, please feel free to stay by. The team is all here to answer any sidebar questions afterwards, myself included. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And our closing comments from our IC.
Good morning, everybody. Again, I'm Chris Trinidad on the IC of CAL FIRE Team 1. Just for your awareness, some things that might happen today or tomorrow potentially, but if you look at the map behind me on the White Fire, you kind of see that red blob in the middle. That's an area of unburned fuel that's on the incident. The team is currently conducting a plan in coordination with Kern County Fire and the locals that have the knowledge there on how do we best address that unburned fuel. Without disrupting the soil, I think we've come to the determination that letting that fire burn itself out at a low intensity is going to be the best option. So there's going to be some smoke in the air at some point between today or tomorrow. That's 228 acres worth of fuel. So a 228 acre fire will produce a significant amount of smoke. And what it does on its own and how it consumes, we're going to try to control a little bit so there's minimal impact, but there's going to be an impact to the environment. When we look at the terms of risk associated with the work out there, if we were going to try to do some hand line construction or dozer operations to put line around there and disrupt the soil, that's going to be an extended operation. That could be anywhere from 2 to 5 days worth of work depending on the fuel load in there and what that looks like. So we think the best option is going to let it be self-consumed. It started to do that on its own yesterday and burned about an acre or two on its own in the afternoon. It didn't quite get established as the fuels had quite a bit of moisture in them still. The wind in some of that areas don't hit the ground level, so it wasn't carrying in the fuels as much. So just for awareness, if you do see something over the next couple days, that's what that is. It's well interior of the fire perimeter, if you look at it. If this was a topographic map, as far as having the sections on it as well, I can kind of paint a picture that it's about 2 miles as a crow flies. So there's really no threat to the line, okay? But just for awareness, if you see that. Really enjoy all the opportunities that we have to collaborate and build the relationships. I know that it's not an ongoing incident where there's actually much happening in regards to evacuations or need for mass care or anything like that, but it still has a big impact on the environment. So thank everybody for being here.
Chief, do you have any idea how long it takes 228 acres? I mean, do you think this will go on for 2 days, a week?
I have a professional in that I'll defer that confident to.
Well, it depends on a lot of things. One problem with this area of the Tehachapis is we don't have, this is an excuse, right? We don't have really good weather observation network that covers that area. our meteorologists found some really odd things going on because the way the Tehachapis and the transverse ranges meet right there in the Antelope Valley is a big, broad flat to the east. The marine air kind of sloshes in there almost like a beach. So we're getting these weird periods where the humidity goes up in the middle of the night, then it crashes back to teens in the middle of the night. So bottom line is, it depends on if we can catch one of those phases where it's pretty dry, where we have plenty of sun, and the wind is in our favor. It could go in as little as an hour or two. If those conditions are not favorable, it could take a while as a really low intensity surface fire in the understory creeping through the litter. I'm not sure which one would be preferable. Maybe the long-term one would be better, but we're going to figure that out as we go today.
Well, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate the opportunity to sit there and have some discussions. Again, tomorrow's meeting will be at this same time at 10 o'clock. I hope to see you all here, and I'll let you guys all know, too, if you like to sidebar with any of us, we'll be here for a little while longer. So please come up, ask questions, and have a great day. Thank you.